Let me ask you something. When you go to the movies, what's the main thing you look forward to the most? Is it the warm atmosphere, the awesome snacks, or even the main movie itself? And well, yeah, those are all really amazing. For me, oddly enough, one of my favorite things I look forward to every time are the main studio logos I see right before the show itself begins. Now I know what you're thinking, what a very odd and specific thing to be excited for, and I get it. Usually the film itself is the main attraction where you get the most emotional and awesome moments you associate with going to the cinema. But really when you think about it, we've been seeing these logos for our entire lives. We know these sounds and images, and most of the time, it can give us an indication whether or not the movie will be awesome or kinda shitty. So I thought it'd be a fun change of pace to go ahead and look at some logos, old and new, and see why they stuck around, what makes them so unique, and of course, why I think they're awesome. Now there isn't really going to be a certain best to worst kind of order or anything. I just really want to talk about logos that I really enjoy, but I've associated with seeing movies with my entire life. So with that out of the way, let me show you why I am totally and literally obsessed with film studio logos. I'm sure if you've been alive for any amount of time, I'm positive you're familiar with the awesome original Walt Disney Pictures logo. No, not that CG one, I mean this original one. Ah yes, much better. The classic Walt Disney logo is so iconic in so many ways to so many people. From that light blue background, that super hummable song, and of course, those white letters forming the name of the company. It all works so well together. And it doesn't really surprise me that Disney uses this logo for nearly 20 plus years for all their films, TV shows, and even video games. The funny thing is that for a long time, Disney didn't have a full-fledged logo of their own like most studios did. The films would just open up, pop the name of the studio, the name of the film, that's it. No unique graphics or music. It wasn't really until 1985 with The Black Cauldron of all films where they first saw this logo in front of a main feature. And after that, it kinda stuck, and I'm so glad it did because this logo means so much to so many people. I think what works so well with this logo is the simplicity. Because most logos at the time would go big with giant CG graphics and giant orchestral scores, when here, it's just simple. It's when you wish upon a star and a castle. That's it, and I really like that. Kinda giving off the vibe that you're gonna be transported to a new world full of wonder and magic, and it's gonna give you a great time. Not to mention, because it's so simple, the assets could easily be swapped out for small variations, which Disney did a lot of. Like depending on the film, they replace colors, music, and even the background to fully embrace you into the film world, and I really do like that. It's why I prefer this logo way over the new CG one. The new CG one isn't bad, but nothing can truly replace that classic logo that we've all seen in front of our favorite Disney films. And that's why to me, it's simple, it's fun, it's awesome, and why to me, it's the definitive Walt Disney logo. If you were a kid between the mid-90s and the mid-2000s, you definitely remember this orange and blue logo for Nickelodeon movies, which as the name suggests, made theatrical films based on Nickelodeon properties. You name it. SpongeBob, Rugrats, Jimmy Neutron, Nacho Libre for some reason. They had this classic logo in front of them, which I'll say, those early films still hold up remarkably well. Now currently nowadays, when you watch a Nickelodeon film, what logo do you usually see? Wow, how remarkable is that? What did you see back in the 90s? Yeah. Some of the most creative logos I've ever seen, from random giant dogs with boogers, to a psychedelic trip, to even this random French guy. Okay, cool. The logos themselves are so wacky and unique that they would switch them out every film or so and make brand new ones for each corresponding release. Not just switch out the colors and fonts just like the new one, I mean full on brand spanking new logos with new animation, new music, and new sounds to fully embrace the wackiness of Nickelodeon. Now yes, we did have that Nickelodeon font show up in the same colors and now that same jingle we all know and love, but besides that, you never really knew what you were gonna get, and that was truly magical and exciting for viewers of Nickelodeon movies. And it's kind of why when you mention Nickelodeon movies to this day, most people think of those old logos and not, well, that new sanitized logo. I really don't like that one. If you were to ask me to pick my favorites, it'd be a tough deal. But if I could, I'd probably have to pick the very first one because it's just a hanging rhinoceros with the logo. Sure, okay, that's unique and mildly interesting, I suppose. They had one for Good Burger with like a CG shake that drives around like a car, which is okay, but the fact that they used early CG to make a new, like a nice shake looking thing and having like the logo splatter onto the screen, that's kind of cool, and I really do like that. And who could forget those pair of logos featuring just this random dude raking or shoveling his driveway when suddenly a giant Nickelodeon ball falls in his house for no reason, just destroying it? Has no rhyme or reason, just destroys the house, and it's actually really funny. Plus, the dog that's in the logo is also very adorable. I like dog. He's very cute dog. So yeah, Nickelodeon movies is pure wackiness and weirdness, in a way that you don't really see in any logos ever. But to me, it's a good kind of weird that definitely fits with the wildness and wonder of Nickelodeon. When you think of the modern studio logo, odds are you probably think of Marvel Studios. Yep, I'm going there. Now I'll say this, I love the MCU a lot. So much so that two of my favorite films of all time are actually MCU films. Now say what you will about modern Marvel, but I love how much thought and care they put into crafting an awesome connected universe. With so many iconic and classic characters that work and breathe together, these logos definitely represent that and feel that exact same sentiment that I really do admire. As of right now, there's a total of 3-ish main Marvel logos, which kind of help define the first 3 phases of the MCU. The first one being that iconic classic page flip logo they used in films like Iron Man and of course Spider-Man. The second one, which tried a more grandiose approach with a cool as heck song that shows like, hey, we're serious here, and also includes some really cool CGI with the logo. And finally, the third logo, which I guess at this point is the definitive MCU logo. And what's cool about this one is that it adds elements from the previous 2 logos to create something new, unique, and exciting. Like adding a cool new instrumental, and using scripts and small clips of the movies to show how far they've come since the beginning, and it's always such a joy to watch. And unlike the first 2 logos, which didn't have that many variations, the current MCU logo has tons of fun variations that they change out for about each movie. Now it is mainly just color and music, and of course adding new clips into the logo, but I think it really works here to show off not only the comic bookness of the films, but it also keeps the interconnectivity of the MCU alive, and I freaking adore it. Some of my personal favorite MCU logos, for one, are the Black Panther Wakanda Forever logo, where in honor of the late Chadwick Boseman, they had the typical Marvel red replaced with a beautiful shade of purple and no music in the logo. Just having you sit in the silence is so powerful, and was a very nice way to honor his late memory. On the other end, in a more lighthearted-ish way, is the logo they used for Avengers Endgame. Having Mr. Dear Fantasy playing over the logo is so perfect, and the fact that they went into the logo itself, taking out all the characters that were actually dusted in Infinity War, is so perfect, and it shows really the gravity of the situation in that movie, and it's just so beautiful. It makes me really tear up a few times every time I see it. It's just that powerful. And my personal favorite by far is the logo they used for the original Avengers, where they have the Marvel Studio words flowing in and out from the aura of the Tesseract, giving it a more otherworldly, out-of-bounds type glowy effect, which looks really mythical and really sets you up for what you're about to see, and I really adore the space feel it gives you. It's so cool and so awesome. Now, I can understand if this logo isn't exactly your style and how it could be a bit too much for people. But for me, it shows off the right amount of hype for what you're about to watch, and in my eyes, is the perfect way to show off the superhero mayhem you're about to witness. I could go on and on about various studio logos for days and days, because it really shows how one simple 5 to 30 second logo can really show off the pride a studio has for its work. And trust me, I have loads more I could say about 1,000 more logos from big and small companies alike. But for now, I'll leave it here, and hope I made you reminisce a little bit about the magic of logos, and why some of us really get intrigued by them, and dare I say, obsessed with them, and all of their beautiful, CG, graphic-y, colorful, and of course, imaginative glory.